we're going to give My Mythical Morning a run for the money because today I brought sea moss. And so today, if you all have never tried sea moss before, we're going to do My Mythical Morning style.
Oh.
What's happening, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Successfully Unsigned, professional music advice from unprofessionals. Hope everyone had a great weekend. We have an amazing episode planned for you today. Actually, one of my favorite episodes we've ever done. We had our dear friend Christian Hanna on the show tonight. We talked about a lot in the episode. He runs his own venue, so he talks about how to run a venue, what to do if you're an artist trying to book a show. And honestly, he's lived so many lives. He's done so many cool things, and it's just a really fun episode. I had a ton of fun recording it, and I know he did too. And we also tried some sea moss at the end of the show, so stay tuned for that. But before we get into it, you guys know the drill. Subscribe to the channel, like, leave a comment, all of the things. Go to the website, su-podcast.com. You can find all the links to our social media there. Also, if you want to come on the show, we have a way you can submit a form on our website. Again, that's su-podcast.com. So without further ado, enjoy the show.
Every time. Every time.
What's going on, guys? We are back with another episode of Successfully Unsigned, and we are here with Christian Hanna.
What's up, everybody?
Welcome in, my friend.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, of
Thank you,
course.
Patrick. Thank you, David.
Yeah, of course, man. There's music playing right now. You can't hear it, but so yeah, man. It took us a minute to get you on, but we're happy to have you here. Trying to figure out how to begin here. There's so much to talk about with Christian.
We're already on a great start.
On a great start. It's like I'm Dale right now. Dale never knows how to open the show.
Yeah.
First, where is Dale? I'm upset. My man Dale is not
He's in
here.
Oklahoma. Yeah, he went back home literally today. Like,
So,
I think he might actually literally be on the plane right now.
when I was on the phone with him, I heard some chips in the background, so maybe he's just at home chilling.
Yeah, he just didn't want to be here.
I don't know.
Sorry.
We all know
You guys
Dale's.
have secret beef.
He actually is a CIA assassin. It's the best cover the
I
government's
don't know
ever
about
come
that.
up with.
I don't know about
I always
all that.
joke with him that he has a crossbow like above his couch.
It's not a crossbow. It's just a regular bow.
a regular
You always
bow
call
and
it
arrow.
a crossbow.
I know, but
Which is like that's the one that you like shoot with, whereas this one's
literally,
like,
yeah, the one you pull back.
No, but Dale's so
Which is-
gangster, he turns it sideways.
Yeah, it's the kill
Treats it
shot.
like a crossbow.
It's the kill shot.
Yeah, that's Dale. That's Shaq Daddy.
Execution style right there.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I guess we'll just start with the age-old question of what are your origins? How have you come to be? This is like I don't even know how.
No,
to
here, let me ask you this.
Let me just revisit here.
Let me ask you this. David, you met me before I met Patrick, right?
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yes.
where did you first meet me?
Where-
How did?
Oh,
what's your
yeah,
first
I
memory
actually
of me?
don't know how you guys. I don't know how you know Dale or really
I think
anyone.
The first time I met you, you were saying, "Is this level okay?" Because I was on stage and you were the sound guy at Laundry Room, and I was doing that show with Dale, and yeah, you were just checking
Terrible,
levels, man. Honestly,
awful,
and
so mean.
Just no, but seriously, like we really one of my first shows in Murfreesboro was that show and that venue. And you were just so inviting, and like you just knew how to put on a show, and like being the sound guy and everything. Like I know there's a lot that comes with that, and it takes a lot of patience and a lot of like effort and tying things together, and you just do that so effortlessly. And that kind of stuck with me, and so I kind of wanted to get to know you a little better. And yeah, we met there, and I think I worked with you at Rudy's for a little bit. Rudy's Jazz
That's
Room.
right. I forgot about that.
He was I had no idea that you even worked there. I had worked there like off and on. I come in one day and he's just standing behind the soundboard, and I'm like, what are you doing here? Like, this is not the bath. The bathrooms are back there, bro. He's like, yeah, I work here. I'm like, oh,
Right.
okay. Yeah. So, hey man, small world.
How do you know
It is.
Dale?
I know Dale from the M.F.A. program at MTSU.
Oh, okay. I didn't realize you went there.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yes. I'm actually finishing my thesis now.
Okay.
So I went right around COVID. finished everything but my thesis, took a little time off, started working a whole lot, and now I'm back. I'll be finished by this fall.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Amazing. That's very exciting.
Yeah.
There's still a lot of work to be had prior to that,
Yeah.
but I mean, in that meantime, Nashville and Murfreesboro really has become my home.
Yes.
And I'm
So
loving it
are
down
you
here.
from Nashville?
No, I'm from Louisville, Kentucky.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, you can tell just the way you say it.
Louisville.
Kentucky.
Right.
Like you got water in your mouth.
No, it's like you got bourbon or a big chunk of Derby pie in your mouth.
Just Jim Beam.
Yeah. You know it.
Okay, so what brought you to Nashville? Kind of like what is your background with music? Did your family do music? Did you grow up doing music?
Wow.
Everything like that.
Yeah, sure. So none of my family plays music.
Okay.
Really?
My dad plays drums very recreationally with his buddies. They have a
Okay.
once a week jam, but I think
Once a week? That's pretty serious.
yeah, it's some serious beer drinking, you know, it's some serious chuckling and all that. You know, it's like a men's hang.
Right.
Some of the guys are really great shredders. My dad, he can keep a beat and he can keep a beat.
Like the
Okay.
AC/DC.
That's it. That's it. But hey, he's got it on lock.
You need pocket drummer, bro.
But besides that, I was the first musician in my family to take it seriously.
Okay.
I started actually doing ballet as a kid.
Really?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Okay.
And that's where I...
Wait, really?
Period.
Oh, very seriously. I was the Nutcracker at the Louisville Ballet. You know the scene?
Wait.
There's like 3 Nutcrackers.
Is that a real thing? The Louisville Ballet?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Wow.
Professional company. And,
Goodness.
you know, there's like 3 stages of the Nutcracker. There's the toy. And then there's a
yeah.
soldier that like fights all the rats and kills the king rat. And then from there it turns into the full prince. And he dances and they go to the land of the sugar plum fairies and all that.
Bro,
Well,
I'm
forget
in shock
that.
right now. I had no idea this
No,
was a
I
thing.
am shocked you were a ballet dancer. That's so cool.
Yeah, I'm not
That's
like
really
degrading.
unique.
Like I think that's awesome. I just did not
Oh
know this
no,
about
I think
you.
it's so cool. I really want to like see pictures and videos now.
Why? Like, do you,
Bro,
what?
I was just so nice to my mom. That's all I can think of. Like, I don't know why I did this. My mom was like, hey, you want to try dancing? And so I did a little tap dancing. And I was
Oh,
like
that's so
pretty
fun.
good at that.
Oh, okay.
And then I don't know how my mom's friend was like a costume designer for the ballet.
Okay.
And she suggested, hey, maybe Christian could be one of the little kids. You know, I did this from like 7 to 12 years old.
Nice.
Wow.
So there was
12
like,
years old is like, I feel like that's getting pretty intense.
Commitment.
yes, right before puberty dropped, you know.
Yeah,
It was,
dropped.
yeah. You know,
before it
volume 2.
Yeah, I don't think I should do this anymore. Yeah.
The Nutcracker. No, but
Missed a step.
I was, that's where I would say my music abilities began because it was lots of walking and
Yeah.
counting.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, the thing with ballet is like it's very with all of my knowledge about dance from Dance Moms. It's very like
Very accurate.
there are rules with there is a right way to do ballet and there's a wrong way to do ballet. Whereas like some other dancing, there's a little more give. So especially that, I feel like that also probably gave you a lot of discipline in a lot of ways too.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
They were cutthroat there.
I believe it.
and watching like, you know, the women that were like age 18 to 25, like being so serious.
Mm-hmm.
And then, of course, the director, Ulin Jones.
Yeah.
It was
That is a director name.
Alan.
sure.
Alan, Alan. His
Yeah.
name's Alan, but the way he pronounced it, Ulin Jones.
Ulin.
And he would look right into your soul. There was no kidding around with this man.
That's wild.
He's not playing
So-
around.
Yeah.
So
No
how many
playing.
other boys were in your ballet? Was it a team? Like did you guys do competitions or was it?
So it was just a production, the
Okay.
Louisville Ballet production company. And they would, you know, they would have, I don't know, maybe 8 different ballets throughout the year. And the Nutcracker, the Christmas one being the biggest one,
Right,
most popular. And so I think there was probably like 60 to 80 children involved, like all at once. There was a bunch of kids because you have the full party scene at the beginning. That's like 20 there. And then you have the battle scene with all like the rats versus the soldiers. And so those are more like teenage kids. and then you get later to all the other dancers. So
Everybody's getting some action, man. That's crazy.
And then there's 2 casts because you have to have backup of everybody.
Right.
Oh,
So
yeah.
40 A cast, 40 B cast kind of thing going on.
Wow.
Yeah. And I was the nutcracker in the stage where I got to kill that Rat King. I was like
That's
Charlie Day
crazy.
smashing rats, dude. You know,
That's crazy.
stabbing that.
He's a
Getting
warrior,
after
man.
it.
Wow.
He's a warrior. I had no idea.
That's I
This
know.
is-
I love that so much
So
though.
I just want to know how that bridges to like bass guitar and like music. You know, like for you,
Look, dancing and music,
they're just they're intertwined.
they intertwine. And if you're a musician who can't dance, go dance. Start dancing
Right.
because it's gonna lock in that internal rhythm
Right.
better than anything.
That's smart. That's smart advice.
And
Yeah.
go see my guy Ron D. He teaches dance in Nashville. He dances at the Motown Mondays every Monday night at the 5 spot. He's at the American Legion every Tuesday.
For real?
And he is all about dancing and getting people to dance. He just makes it so fun and accessible to people.
So do you still dance at all?
I do. So working at Rudy's Jazz Room every Monday night is salsa night. And so now I got the room dialed in.
Yeah.
I sound check the band in 5 minutes, and then I get out there and I'm starting to learn dancing. I'm doing
Real.
So
bachata,
fun.
salsa, whatever.
Oh my
you know.
goodness! For our live
Shit,
performance,
bro.
we should have had you do a dance.
It's a salsa dance in the middle of this room.
Yes, solo salsa.
Okay, well,
Looks a
yeah,
little
maybe-
awkward.
bro.
Maybe like a ballet solo. Do you remember any ballet moves?
I can do my positions. I got
Okay.
first position, second, third,
Uh-huh.
plie, releve.
Yeah,
You know,
I learned all those in like a one class of theater. I don't remember any of them, but I do remember learning them. But that's about it.
so you were a theater kid.
Oh yeah, I mean it's pretty obvious. I feel like
That energy was there. He's got the theater
Yeah.
kid energy. for
yeah,
sure. Yes.
everyone that I know like immediately clocks it. That was
Right.
a theater kid.
My
But,
sister was theater, so
yeah, I did. I'm not like a. I always had a lot of passion when I was dancing for musicals and stuff because I was in like all the musicals, of course, and there was only a small group of guys that would participate, so all of the guys had to dance no matter what. But like especially my first year, like I remember people coming up to me afterward. I was just in the ensemble and they were like, "Wow, you really got into it."
Oh no! It's like you got
Like-
too into
like,
it. It's like chill.
I was just we did All Shook Up, which is a Elvis jukebox
Yeah.
musical,
Oh, okay.
and so they're like, we really want you guys to like just be super energized, react to everything that's happening on stage, because in that production specifically, our director decided to have the whole entire ensemble on stage the entire show, which is an interesting choice, but me as like a little freshman coming into high school, like loving theater, I'm like, being on stage the whole time, that sounds amazing. So I was straight up like like I was full going for it, and like the dances I was like, yeah, like I was so into it.
You're doing kabuki acting.
I can see him, bro. I can see him doing the like.
No, literally, I honestly
all shook up part.
honestly literally
the legs.
the musical is still on YouTube. Like we can watch it. And
Oh,
you'd be
we
able
gotta
see
react
So
to it.
yeah, we gotta
100%.
react to some songs.
Nice.
But anyway, I was never like a good dancer, but the dance teachers loved me because I was very passionate about it. And like I did try really hard. And so not that I don't think I was a bad dancer and I would get all the steps fine, but I was by no means like technical, but like the theater kid in me just loved it so much where I was like, yes, I am the best dancer that has ever existed.
Yeah.
So
Nice.
yeah, but I've always loved, like, I can really appreciate ballet. I don't think I've ever seen a ballet in real life, but I'm like, I love watching like any ballet videos I've seen. I love Black Swan. That's a great movie. But I now really just want to see you like do ballet.
Dude,
I'm so interested
I
in
honestly doubted you could touch your toes. I was like, then when you said that, I was like, whoa, he must be super flexible.
No. So male dancing is very different from
Oh, is it?
female. Yeah, in terms of different
Well, I
splits
mean,
and all
yeah,
that. It's
yeah.
more presentation. I am very inflexible, unflexible.
Unflexible.
I'm working on it every day. Got to do my yoga every day.
Yeah.
Stretch
Yeah.
it out.
That's awesome.
But no, even as a kid, did y'all do the presidential fitness test as kids?
Probably. It
Probably.
sounds so familiar.
Is it the fitness gram?
Like, yeah.
Pacer test or
And-
something?
Oh, the pacer test. They're still doing the pacer test. Did y'all know that?
I thought I
Someone said
Is the AI voice?
someone recently was like,
creepy.
"Oh yeah, my brother was." They were doing the pacer test in gym the other day. I'm like, the fact that they're still torturing kids with that stupid test. That test is so humiliating. As a chubby kid, that test was the worst.
What would you have to
thing.
do?
Because you've never done the pacer test?
Well, ours was presidential.
Okay.
I think it was a
I
few
think
years
we did
before.
have a presidential thing, but
Yeah.
that we also had the pacer test where it would beep and you'd have to run to the other side of the gym. And it would slowly get faster and faster.
Yes.
And so then all the fat kids are left behind being the last one and walking, and everyone has to wait on them.
It's not funny. It's really
Not
not.
funny at all.
It was so humiliating. It's so like tiring too. And I'm just like, what is the point of this? I seriously feel like it is gym teachers' joy sometimes to just see kids that aren't athletic suffer. I genuinely think so.
That checks out. Honestly,
Yeah.
it really does.
So shame on all of you gym teachers out there who aren't
Yes.
nice. I did have
Shame.
some nice gym teachers, but sorry, the presidential test.
What is that?
It's something similar. You do all these different activities, and you get like, the red badge is you're in the top class of it. Blue badge, you're middle. White badge, you're low. And you need to like improve on this task. So they let you know right then and there if you're any good. I was doing good, mostly blues, couple reds here and there. They got to the stretching part where you would sit on the ground, and they actually had a box, and it had like a ruler you would push. You remember this?
Yes.
Bro,
Yep.
I almost didn't get a badge. Like, I couldn't touch it. I could barely move it at all. And, like, gym teachers looking at me, like, shaking their head.
I can't even touch the ruler.
Can't even touch
Man.
it.
Dude.
And so I knew, even from, like, that was, like, 3rd grade.
But you know what? I bet that gym teacher couldn't do a plie. Irrelevant.
Miss Patty? Heck no. No way. Miss Patty could not. No way.
So you know
Definitely
what?
gonna revel it.
You know what? You're the real winner. You're salsa dancing now. You can still remember some
Dude.
ballet moves.
There we go.
Okay.
Show me some salsa
So-
dance and stuff, dude.
I know. Yeah, we
Monday
got to
nights.
go to Rudy's. I guess.
Be my
Back to your
guest.
stomping grounds.
Yeah, dude, I got a Puerto Rican
Um,
girlfriend now. I got to learn how to
Yeah,
dance.
true.
Got to.
True.
Other than just snap, snap. This is where you live, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so when did you start? Was it around 12 years old that you kind of started looking more into being a musician or like playing instruments or anything like that?
Sure. So right about that time, 12 years old, my mom's friend was a guitar teacher and just said, "Hey, you're going to start taking guitar lessons." Cool. Great. So I did.
And were you like, I'm done with ballet, I'm good?
Yeah,
Or-
it just didn't seem like it was going anywhere.
Gotcha.
So actually the second to last year, I was Fritz. It was like the main character that stomps and breaks the Nutcracker.
Okay.
And then I also in the next scene was the Nutcracker. So I had like the two top boy roles in the whole production, killing it. The very next year, they gave me just the Nutcracker role.
That hurts.
Yeah,
Stings.
So they were like, your time's running low, buddy.
exactly. You're looking a little pubescent for us. You're looking a little
Yeah.
old over there. I was
That's
like,
tough.
ballet is tough. I feel
Yeah.
bad for women, even at
Oh,
12 years
yeah.
old. They're like,
hard
you're
nosed,
yeah.
too old to be in our production.
Ugh.
Cutthroat.
Man.
Ulin Junes.
Yeah.
Didn't like
Yeah.
it.
This is
Yeah.
crazy.
So it was about that time. Even though I really loved dancing, it turned into music at that point
Yeah.
and playing guitar.
Yeah.
And in middle school, that's when I joined the orchestra. And my guitar teacher said, "Hey, you should play upright bass because the tuning is the same on the first 4
Okay.
strings. Violin, is tuned in fifths, bass is in fourths." So I got translated. And of course, I made my best friends, all the hooligans in the back row of the orchestra class playing bass. And I got very serious with that. And then
Band kids are wild.
well, band kids and orchestra kids are two different breeds.
Right. Yeah.
Band kids are way more wild.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
That's why you don't hear one time at orchestra
Yeah.
camp. No, it's one
Yeah,
time at
it's
band
one-
camp.
It's
True,
always
true,
one
true.
time at band camp.
There was a lot of overlap at my school. There were some just plain orchestra kids, but there were very few.
Bro, they stuck me on timpani and like bongos. So I was back there goofing off with dudes hitting, like we played mallets too. So like they even hesitated to let us do that because that had a pitch, and so they're like, hold on, just like, somebody get him a bass drum, somebody get him a tom real quick so they can just bang on that. So yeah, I mean,
give him something with a lot of rests in the music.
Yeah.
Triangle, even
Tragic.
that.
Oh,
dude,
triangle.
one of my band concerts, I dropped cymbals. Like we were playing Thriller by Michael Jackson, and it was right at the pause. I dropped the cymbals.
David.
Literally. It was so embarrassing.
Was that scarring?
Oh my gosh, dude! It was the most quiet. It messed up people coming back in for that beat. And so it was just terrible.
Was that your first time of having like pure stage fright, embarrassment, sweat?
Yes, and I was like all the way in the back, and I could just feel everyone's eyes, just like who could possibly, Yeah, so
loud.
Band kids and orchestra kids, absolutely right. There's a huge difference. But anyways,
Were you a band kid?
No,
Oh, okay.
I cannot play an instrument to save my life. I was a choir kid, though.
Choir kid.
So, yeah, I was choir, theater, which, once again, there was a lot of overlap. Surprisingly, at my school, like, a lot of the cool kids pretty much everyone at my school played a sport. And so, like, a lot of popular kids were in choir and musical. I would say I was popular within the musical and, like, choir realm, not outside of the school. I mean, I wasn't, like, people liked me, but definitely like I feel like my school was different when you talk about choirs and such at other schools where it's a little more secluded. I feel like, I mean, we had people who were like coming from football practice and coming to choir, and it wasn't that big of a deal. Gotcha. And like I a lot of their friends would come to the musicals and stuff too. But there still was like, I have so many stories from choir kids, from band kids. I was a band manager my last year of high school, which was really just an excuse to like hang out and get to go to like games for free and stuff and just chill. But it was a lot of fun. And I have a lot of fun stories from that time as well.
Nice.
So.
You had to manage band kids. I'm sure you have some good stories.
Manage. Really, it was our job to like pull. The only time we really worked was during games when we had to load and unload the band equipment, the instruments.
Okay, got you.
And so other than that, we seriously would like, we had to be there for band practice, but like we would just sit in the bus and just like hang out and talk and steal candy, which we got in trouble for. We would have, we were also in charge of the ice. And so we had keys to the concession stand. And we were,
look at it going. Look at it. What did you do?
And so the first time that I did it, like I was a senior, but all the other band managers were sophomores and there was one freshman. And so, but the sophomores had been doing it for a couple years. So they're like, yeah, like we go and do this. And then we always grab a snack. Or a few. As in, like, we would be getting chips, candy,
Patrick's
drinks.
a thief? What?
And so then there was one girl who I will have to tell you more about, like, outside the show, because I don't want to, light anyone. But she would hoarded her candy and stuff, and we never really saw her eat it, but we didn't really think anything of it. And her mom found a laundry basket full of candy, and she's like, and she wasn't really allowed to eat sweets. She's like, where did this come from? And so she ratted us out.
Oh no.
And so then
she should have ate the evidence.
I know,
right then and there.
And so
lock the door and bring it down.
Then the next game, it was just the two sophomores who had been doing it for a couple of times who were there, because I had to miss it for something and the freshman had to miss it for something, and then the one who got in trouble, I guess, just wasn't there. I don't know. And so they were on the bus loading in the equipment. I think it's like raining. And one of the moms, the one who was like in charge of the concession stands, which she was very like particular about it. And she wanted the parents to take inventory, but the parents just would make up numbers because they're like, we don't care. It's the end of a football game, whatever. So, which is why we got away with it.
Yeah,
and
a laundry basket worth. Of course, there wasn't no accounting happening.
No and skills. They put 20 on
this This mom comes on this bus and screams in these girls' faces. She has tears coming down her eyes. She's like, how dare you guys? How could you do this to me? Like, she is flipping out. God. Like they killed her dog or something. And they were just so, I felt so bad for them because they were obviously like really disturbed by a parent screaming in their face about Soul and Candy. And then the band director, he was super chill about it. He was a super chill guy. He's just like, so I'm gonna have to start giving you the keys to the other ice machine on the other side of the stadium where there's no concessions. But he was still like really chill about it. Like he honestly probably knew that we were taking it because where were we getting all this candy?
Sure,
so I remember too being like, is this wrong? And I was like, nah. And then the candy. we started doing it more and more, I was like, I don't think we should probably be doing this. And I knew better. Like, I was 18, I knew better. But
like like a crunch sound after that. I knew better.
But it is
I knew better.
And yeah, why do I feel like this is more like a regular episode? We might have to replace you with Dale. Or wait, we might have to replace Dale with you.
Bro, Dale's already replaced me, man. Dale's top notch.
Dude, Dale is irreplaceable.
Irreplaceable.
By Beyonce. Okay. We're going to take a quick break and then actually get into your music.
There we go. Love it. All right.
For listening to Successfully Unsigned. I would like to take a moment during this break to remind you to visit our website at su-podcast.com to view all of the newest and latest content that we put out. Also, do us a huge favor and hit like and subscribe on this YouTube video, and like and rate us on your favorite streaming platform. Each one of those things helps us out tremendously. We would love to hear your thoughts on what artists we should have on next, what content we should cover, what kind of topics we should discuss, and any tips and tricks you might have in the music industry. Thank you for being one of our favorite listeners, and enjoy the rest of the show.
Welcome back to Successfully Unsigned. We got off on a bit of a tangent there about stealing candy and ballet and the Nutcracker and everything. But we're back on it. We're back on it, and we'll see where it goes from here.
Great.
Okay, so you start getting into orchestra, and where do you go from here? Like, when are you like, oh, maybe this is something I could seriously do?
Yes, so I was terrible at math.
Same.
I was pretty good at English and writing. That was okay, but where I excelled was playing that upright bass. I'm saying. And then I made some friends that were all going to YPAS, YPAS, and that was the Public Magnet Art School in my county.
Yeah.
So
called?
It's called YPAS, Youth Performing Art School.
That's a weird acronym. Like, why pass?
Why
know?
Pass? Well,
why bother to pass?
Yeah, well, it's really why pass gas is what everybody said. So it was a big magnet school. So there was manual, which was like the traditional high school, and you had all like the accelerated sciences and math and computer technology. But then in the annex building was YPAS, and they had huge choir program, orchestra, band, theater, all that. And so with this block scheduling they had, I was playing in orchestra an hour and a half a day, every day through high school.
Wow.
And I had to audition to get into it. So I took it very seriously, practiced my butt off, got accepted into the program.
And that's where that ballet discipline comes in.
Absolutely. That internal rhythm, that counting. Yep. And so that's when I started taking it very seriously. And so throughout freshman and sophomore year, I was doing all of the orchestra competitions, and in my sophomore year of high school, I came in second place all state.
Oh,
all state.
Okay.
And so first place was this girl who had my same teacher. So we were 1 and 2, and I was like, and she was a senior. So I was like, all right, junior, senior year, I'm going to be top dog. I'm going to be king. So I guess I'm feeling confident, cocky, whatever. And for some reason, I like playing basketball in the parks, soccer with friends. Lacrosse became a big phenomenon at this time. And I was like, and I had some friends in high school. They were like, come play lacrosse, come to a practice. I was like, all right, I'll give it a shot. Never watched a game of lacrosse before. Saw a couple videos. Give it a shot. First, we're out there passing. I'm feeling pretty good. Coach calls for a scrimmage. Within 3 minutes of this scrimmage, this dude who was kicked off of the football team, he must have had 80 pounds on me, just blindsides me. I mean, my feet must have been this high off the ground. And I actually broke my elbow. I was holding the stick and I landed like this.
Oh, wait, so is that a scar?
This is a scar right here.
I can literally see it from here.
Yeah, I had a 3-inch bolt go through there. Jeez. And I actually severed or pulled my ulsa nerve, which is your funny bone nerve, which controls the left side of your hand. And so when that happened, I just remember waking up and they're like, man, are you all right? That was the hardest hit I've ever seen. And I was like, I'm not okay. I'm going to puke. Delirious. Get to the hospital. Goodness. Get shot up with morphine. It was the best feeling I ever had. I was so happy. I understand what those people go through now. It really is great, but never again. Anyways, I couldn't feel the left side of my hand for a year. And so my whole hand deteriorated because there wasn't any nerve signals to stimulate muscle growth. So I had one normal hand and one crypt keeper looking hand. One like grandma. What you laughing at, David?
It's not, this podcast just took a really dark turn, but I am so sorry.
Bro, my life took a dark turn,
I know,
okay?
Wait, do you have a picture of that?
Sorry.
I don't think I do. I wish I did, but it was skinny. And so I sat in orchestra class my junior year, or last half of sophomore into junior year, just sitting there. That's all I could do, just sit there.
Oh my goodness.
And because I didn't have bad muscle pain, but I had nerve pain. So you have to take special pain medication for nerves. And the number one side effect is drowsiness. Bro, I was just conking out in every class for that semester.
They give you gabapentin or something?
Huh?
They give you gabapentin or something?
I forgot what it was called.
Crazy, dude.
It was some nutty stuff, and definitely don't want to take too much of it.
Yeah.
But I would just fall asleep, and all my teachers understood. I had a cast from my wrist up to my shoulder because you can't risk the hinging of your elbow at all.
Yeah.
So I went that whole time, and that's when I became a bad kid because I was bored out of my mind. I just had this broken arm. So I started hanging out with hood rat kids and doing hood rat things, doing hood rat things about hood rat friends. All that.
Hood rat king?
Exactly.
Hood rat king.
Stealing candy from shops and, bad stuff like that.
Yeah.
Christian was actually there with you.
Yeah.
Right. Had the other laundry basket.
Foreshadowing.
So after that, so that's basically went all through my junior year as well. And finally, by the end of my junior year, I had enough strength to grip a bass again. Yeah. But I started doing electric. The first time I ever touched an electric bass was my senior year of high school when I had my hands completely back. And that was a good way to start.
Did you know if your hand was going to come back and be fine?
They said it would.
Okay.
And this actually took me... This one incident took me down so many paths in life because do you know the restaurant Jeff Ruby's Steakhouse?
Yeah. I've heard of it.
You've heard of it. So there's one in Nashville.
Yes. Okay. I've heard of it.
So Jeff Ruby, he has a steakhouse in Cincinnati, Louisville, Kentucky, Nashville, a couple in Vegas, it's growing all the time. And so back then they just opened one or were going to open one in Louisville. I go to the Klutz and Kleiner Hand Rehabilitation Center. Lucky for me, Louisville had the number one hand reconstruction program in the country.
Of course.
Go figure. Yeah.
Good
Lucky
on
me.
You, Louisville.
Nice, Louisville.
That's such a interesting...
actually a clutch thing to be good. That's really good. Yeah,
Little clutch.
Really clutch.
So I go. This is another tangent. This has nothing to do with music,
I'm
but
sorry.
Hey,
it's too interesting.
This
I gotta hear it. Though.
It will get interesting because I go to this hand rehab center, sitting there with my mom, and in walks Mr. Jeff Ruby, him and his assistant. And Jeff Ruby, he's a very well-off man. Comes in with a 3-piece suit and a half-smoked cigar that he's chewing on. And he sits down and he just starts striking a conversation. oh, hello, Mrs. Hannah. How are you today? Is this your son? What happened? We started talking, and I said, Mr. Ruby, how did you hurt your hand? And he says, kid, if I told you I cut my hand slicing salami, I'd be lying to you. No, fortunately.
What does that even mean?
What does that you know what? I just saw Goodfellas like the month before this, so I'm picking up the vibe. Like, the undertones are there.
Yeah.
And so
we might need to cut that part out because I'm not trying to get attacked.
What you mean?
Being exposing Mr. Jeff Ruby on our podcast.
The mafia
That's just what he said, right? No, you might want to cut that part out.
Yeah.
But anyway, so we go.
Never mind.
We go into the center, and we I'm playing with putty with my doctor who's facing me, and he's playing with putty to, like, rehab your hands. And then finally both doctors get up, and we just have this stare down.
It's so weird.
We're just staring at each other, squeezing putty. He goes, hey, kid, they should have sports center in here. I'm like, yes, Mr. Ruby. Yeah. So I'm 16, and we come back to the lobby, and Jeff Ruby goes, Mrs. Hannah, your son, I like him. He talks to you with respect. Kids don't respect the mothers anymore. I want him to work for me, for my restaurant. And so I go down. I'm like, I'm a 16-year-old kid. I go down there and just fill an application. These people are like, who is this kid? So a month goes by, no response. I go online and I find out Jeff Ruby's assistant's phone number, leave messages. 2 days later, I get a call. Mr. Hannah, would you come down to the restaurant? You have a job? Mr. Ruby says you're working for us now. And that starts a whole saga of being a pipsqueak 16-year-old kid working at a 5-star restaurant for the next 3 years.
Yeah. Oh my goodness.
And like the chefs are like wannabe Gordon Ramsays, just like beat red yelling, and
it's very cutthroat.
Half the people are on pills in the kitchen, and all the wait staff is just sleeping with each other. Like I got exposed to a lot, but hey, it's
the 5-star place, bro.
I never understood that because I'm like, is food really that serious?
Yes. To these people, it is.
That's wild.
A lot of money.
Wild.
I was there when OJ got kicked out of the restaurant.
Right.
Yeah. Rest in peace. Actually, not.
I had to say, wait, what?
Speaking of hands.
Speaking of hands, yes. So back to my music. I'm sorry, man. This life.
I love it.
So
that's wild.
That's when I pick up the electric bass, and my mom tells me about this guy, Victor Wooten. Right? We know him as Nashville's, the first family of Nashville are the Wooten brothers, and he's the #1 bass player in the world.
Okay.
And so she gives me the CD, and I get really intrigued by it. I become a big fan of his. And a couple years later, I go to his camp. I start playing music at his camp. I volunteer at his camp. That was actually my first time in the Nashville area. I was going to his camp. And so I knew I really liked this place. And in the meantime, I played for a lot of local bands. At one point, I was playing in 7 different bands in Louisville, gigging like 4 to 5 days a week.
Is there a big music scene there?
So Louisville, this one rapper I worked with, he explained it the best. He goes, Louisville has one of the most talented music scenes in the country with the worst local support.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
We get tipped in shots. I'm like, guys, the bar's going to give us free drinks. We don't need 6 bourbon shots. We need some money.
Yeah.
Like the tip jars were always empty.
Yeah.
But I was playing in bluegrass bands, a lot of hip hop bands. Shout out to my people, James Lindsay. Shout out to Dr. Dundiff and the Smoke Shop Kids.
That is actually the dopest name I've ever heard in my life.
Done differently, baby.
That's crazy.
And the Smoke Shop Kids was the group that we all started together. So he's a hip hop producer.
Yeah.
And then our first iteration of the band was myself on bass, trombone, saxophone, and him playing drums on the MPC.
Man. That is so fresh. I love that.
Because I was hosting a open mic freestyle hour where people would just cipher and rap, and I was rapping at the time too, so doing freestyle raps, and then it would turn into a dance party, and I was like 20, so I wasn't even supposed to be in the bar, but like. Yeah. We would sneak into bars by putting on shows. And because we were bringing people in, they would never card us. So I was like partying hard and like making this bar survive because we were bringing people every Thursday night.
Owner calls you have a job. So
Right.
Start working there too.
The ballet to rapper pipeline is wild.
Dude,
wow.
And then, of course, the band, the Smoke Shop Kids, you can imagine what we were doing all the time as well. Yeah. So and then that evolved into Dr. Dundiff making beats, producing rap records with these rappers. And whenever they would have an album release, the band would learn all of the songs. And so we would perform them live with the rapper. And so we started doing that with every rapper.
Fun, dude. That sounds so fun.
And then it all culminated into Forecastle 2016. We hashtagged our way into playing at Forecastle on a stage. And our pitch was we're going to highlight one rapper from every neighborhood in Louisville. So we had 11 rappers, a 14-piece band, and we did a remix of a Jim James song from My Morning Jacket. My Morning Jacket was performing that weekend, and so Jim James came out on stage with us and sang a song with our band. So
that is dope.
It was a lot.
Wow.
Dude.
Okay, so when did you start kind of getting into Nashville?
So after that, 2016 is actually when I moved down here to go to grad school.
Okay.
Yeah. And so I did 2 years of grad school, then started working, took some time off. Then COVID definitely put big brakes on all of that. But, moved down here to learn audio engineering. And that was some of the worst times of my life going through that program because they want to just completely dismantle you, which I get it. That's a grad school thing. You know nothing. You are nothing. Everything you do sounds like crap, which it probably did, to their credit. And it does.
That is so funny. You sound just like Dale right now when he describes it.
Yeah.
It is the exact same way. And I'm sure if he were here right now, he'd just be nodding the entire time.
But I had a lot of background in running shows. I had wedding bands, all of my bands. I was setting up the PA systems and all that. And when I moved into the house where we have the laundry room venue, it first just started as like a jam night. Yeah. You're just hanging out and jamming. Yeah. And then somebody asked, hey, can we do a show here? So we had a show on the floor. And we were like, man, is there really nowhere for like MTSU people to have a show? To like play
other than like house shows.
Shows.
Bro,
so we're
capitalize on that. That was big.
That's
because you was right. Like there's nowhere in that town to put on a show.
And the few places that there have been have closed down, or like there was one place
can't survive.
There was one place, I forget what it was called. Like Dale loves it. It's called like Graveyard something or something like that.
Graveyard Gallery just got shut down.
Yep. That's what it is.
It's really unfortunate. So luckily, like where my house is, we are just outside of the Murfreesboro city limits. So we are technically in Rutherford County territory, which you have way more liberation of sound ordinances and all of that. Okay. And so like where my house is, we have an acre like front and backyard. We did 3 dump trucks of gravel so we could have parking. So, I mean, we invested a lot of money just to get this thing started. And now, if you've been to the laundry room, we have the 25-foot stage, subwoofers, stacked PA system, monitors, in-ears, TVs on the wall, cameras. And
it's a whole production. Like, I've told people before about it where I'm like, yeah, I mean, like, there's house shows, and then I'm like, there's this laundry room. I'm like, it's a house, but it's not like a house venue. It's not like, oh, well, we're going to play in your backyard. It's like a professional setup. And I remember the first time I went there, I was a junior in college, and I went with Dale, and I was just like, oh, like, this place is really cool. Like, I'd never been to any sort of house show or anything like that. So I was like, oh my goodness, it's like really part of the like college music scene experience that I'm experiencing right now. And then Dale had his first like real show there, and David played there. Yeah. His first show, you played with him, or did you perform with the Black Tie Affair?
I was with the Black Tie Affair.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
And when I saw David, I was like, I want to meet these people. Yeah. You and Mello and like you guys rocked that show. So
I still remember the first like note Mello singing and everyone being like, whoa, like everyone freaked out.
That venue, man, is like one thing I love about it. It's just how intimate it is. And it's kind of, now I really like prefer that type of venue. You know, just like everyone standing close, like having the hype people in the front, you know, it's a really cool setup.
Well, and just, I love the aesthetic of it, of like literally the laundry room, and then like all the soap bubbles and everything. Like I love a good aesthetic. Like I love the Cobra in Nashville because of the painting. Like it just is a cool looking venue. Where I would say the same thing about yours, where there's other venues I'm like, could take it or leave it. So
we couldn't get past like, what are we gonna name this thing?
Yeah,
we're like the Hang, the Den, the whatever. It all sounded
crazy.
It's what crazy awful. I know we were having so much trouble coming up with the name.
Yeah, that does seem.
Was it just you who was living there?
It was Jacob Keener at the time too,
okay,
who's now living in Colorado, running a big company out there. And I go work for them from time to time.
Okay,
but the last 2 years it's just been me pretty much. So, but I was working for MTSU's production company at that time, right when we're getting everything started in 2019. And I was like, man, what are we going to name this place? And I had to pick up some gear, and we picked up bubble machines. And I was like, Bubbles, our laundry appliances are in there. You just got to accept it. It's the laundry room. So
it's a sweet venue. I actually do remember, I forgot that I went to a show during COVID there. It was a comedy night, and it was outside.
You came to the Dirty Laundry open mics?
Yes, that's what it was. I went to one. Yeah.
Oh boy.
And so you heard me do some stand up?
I don't know if I don't remember if you performed.
You can say it was bad. If it
I
was
got
bad.
there late, I think, and I left like immediately after because I was trying to get Dale to come with me, and then he ended up not coming. And so then I was like, I don't know anyone. I'm scared, and I left. Whereas like now I'm a lot easier at live shows and meeting people, but I was like, I also didn't think I realized it was like open mic comedy. I guess I was thinking like it was open mic like singing, and I get there and it was like stand up. And look, okay.
Can you imagine? He's just like waiting for the music to start. And the guy's like, my mother would not.
I used to go.
She hates my beard, and you're just like, wait, what's dude on about?
I love open mics. I went to a lot of open mics after my freshman year of college at where my parents live. Me and my cousins would go, but all of the times where there would be like stand up, I would just sink into my seat and be like, please be good, please be good, please be good. And credit to everyone who has ever gone and done stand-up because it is so hard. It takes so much confidence, and I'm not trying to knock you. Like, you have to start somewhere, and open mics are a great place to do it. It's just the secondhand embarrassment I get from watching stand-up open mics is so embarrassing.
It's tough.
It's a lot. It's a lot, and a lot of them don't do well. I went to one. I went to an open mic my freshman year of college in the dorms. So this is like college freshman stand up.
Yeah. Oh, no.
Oh, it was bad.
Because they were like funny in a Discord one time.
Bad.
And now they're like, I'm funny.
Literally, it was so bad. Except there was one iconic moment where this guy like made like a pretty distasteful rape joke. And no one laughed. Shocking. Mm-hmm. And then afterward, this girl went up who had already sung. And she was like, so this is to the guy who made that awful joke because I have been sexually abused and I really don't like that. And she sang Goodbye Earl by the Dixie Chicks. Whoa. And it was so iconic. So shout out to that girl. I hope you're still doing music.
That's epic.
You go. But I do remember that one. The people there were like definitely funnier than like your typical open mic. I don't remember seeing you do stand up.
Sure.
But if you did, maybe I just blocked it out because it was bad.
I want to see it so bad.
But now I do come and see it.
That's fine. I mean, I was doing stand-up for about a year and a half, end of 2019.
You lived every life. Oh my goodness. This podcast could literally be like 9 hours long.
You're making it glamorous. I was spending 4 hours a night to get 4 minutes on stage, driving from Murfreesboro, waiting, get on the list.
Stand-up is hard with that as well. I have a friend who does stand-up, and she's out in LA,
Yeah.
and yeah, it's a struggle.
You gotta find the right
makes-
scene for you, I imagine.
It makes more sense in LA or New York because there's
Yeah.
such a big population. You can do 6 spots a night. Nashville, you might have 2 spots a night as an open micer, maybe. And so, but Al, I would encourage you to do some stand up. I would encourage you. Yes.
I'm good on that.
Okay, so here's the thing with comedy, it is so different from music. Music's in all of us already. It's an intrinsic force of nature, and it can just hack into a person. You can play one chord, and you can put them in a whole mood. Right. So, music is, you can kind of hack your way into people like just accepting you as doing a great performance. Right. But with comedy, it is just you and the audience. And you have to put thoughts in their head. That's what good comedy is you make somebody think a thought without saying it out loud. And so it makes this uncontrollable reaction of laughter that happens. So it's a really interesting science of understanding people. And I would say for all performers to do it, because it will translate into your stagecraft, into your stage presence overall. So just be ready to eat bombs and like be embarrassed. That's going to make your podcasting, your music, whatever.
To
your
be fair, I'm not a
stagecraft
musician, so I'm good. But
You're
no,
quiet.
actually, we did.
So vote now if you want to see Patrick.
Yes.
Leave a comment. Leave a
Please.
comment. If we get 100 comments saying Patrick do stand up,
I will consider it if it's.
He's
100
gonna go up there. He's
comments.
gonna
That's
go.
a
So
lot.
one time I stole candy from a candy.
see, that's good.
We did have we had a guest on. Shout out to Missy Eckert and shout out to Missy and Matt. They're getting married this Saturday. Congratulations to y'all. I just saw them the other night. But she does musical improv, and you should watch that episode. It's one of my favorite ones. Like, I flipped out when I heard that. Like, the theater kid in me just got so excited. But we talked a lot about how it has helped her. Obviously, musical improv is definitely going to help you with music, but even just regular improv, because you got to be quick on your feet. Because there is still like a science behind it and planning to it, but especially with improv, like, you don't know what your situation's going to be, and you just got to go off the cuff. And we've been to a few of her shows with off-Broadway comedy, and they are
awesome.
Yeah, they're really good. So
yeah, that is.
I
time.
definitely do see like the benefits of it, but it's so crazy. You've like done so many different things, like rapped, ballet, stand up. Now you're in a folk band, like all different kinds of things. You own a venue.
Yeah, gotta keep life
wild.
interesting.
Yes, you do. Decrepit hands.
Decrepit. That's
That one.
it ebbs and flows. Ebbs and flows.
Yeah.
What if he was just like, life sucks, dude? I'm like, what are you talking about? You've lived every life.
No, that's why I keep trying different things.
I
None of
know.
it works.
None of it works.
Okay, so as someone actually,
I know we're going long.
we're gonna take a quick break,
Okay.
and then we're gonna come back.
All right.
For listening to Successfully Unsigned. I would like to take a moment during this break to remind you to visit our website at su-podcast.com to view all of the newest and latest content that we put out. Also, do us a huge favor and hit like and subscribe on this YouTube video, and like and rate us on your favorite streaming platform. Each one of those things helps us out tremendously. We would love to hear your thoughts on what artists we should have on next, what content we should cover, what kind of topics we should discuss, and any tips and tricks you might have in the music industry. Thank you for being one of our favorite listeners.
Welcome back.
Enjoy the rest of the show.
We're back with the man who has lived 1,000 lives.
We're having fun here.
Christian,
we
are
too much fun.
and I feel like they're having fun too. And are probably gonna try and do like a deep dive research on you after this.
Yeah.
Good luck.
Yeah, good luck. I'm not gonna
not
lie.
in the system.
I've been
I
through
stay
your
offline
Instagram.
as much as I can.
Yeah, he's off the grid.
That's smart, I guess. But meanwhile,
Am I
I'm like
plotting something?
oversharer. Okay, so you run the laundry room. Actually, I am curious. Outside of like the dirty laundry things, how did you kind of keep that going through COVID, or did it really go through?
Yeah, so during COVID, we shut down and I did the outside open mic laundry room hour. I had a couple of private events that were outside during that time. But then during COVID, I lost all my work, right? I was working in all live events. And so that's
Were you in a bunch of bands as well at this point when you moved to Nashville, or no?
No, so from 2019 to 2020, right? Tells you a little bit about
Yeah.
that time frame, right?
Gotcha.
And so I wasn't playing with anybody then.
Okay.
But I was working as a sound man and producing events. And so when that all stopped, I went to people at my church and I asked, like, hey, do you have any work? Like, I just need some work. This guy said, do you know how to drive a tractor? And I said, well, actually, I do, because in my sophomore year of undergrad, I actually lived on a farm and ran a tractor. So
I just have a doctorate in it.
Add it to the list. Commenters, keep a list of the things that he has done.
Oh, yeah.
Bro,
Yeah, we had DJ Booty Sweat out there. We had a big rave at the farm. I got too hot and laid down with my peppers. You know, it
the
was...
Louisville swag is crazy.
Oh, my goodness. I need a book from you. I'm so
He's
serious.
got one already. He's already done it. He's written everything.
So we did a few events, and that's actually when we just fully invested all of our money back into cameras, and we started doing some live streams from the house. From the venue.
I do remember that now. I do remember that.
So if you come to the Laundry Room venue, anyone who performs, we fully film your show with 3 cameras. We multi-track the show.
It's great.
We send you home with content because we're trying to support the scene.
Right.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah,
And
and Dale has videos, and he has a live album out that you can stream from the Laundry Room. Like, really, and you'll hear me screaming in it. So
Yeah.
That you will.
a lot.
That's the reason they listen. It's great.
Exactly. So that's what we did during 2020, and then 2021 came around. We just started having more shows, and we've been rocking since then. It's been good.
Have you run into any like legal issues with the Laundry Room? Like,
So no, because all the venues around Murfreesboro are getting shut down because they're half legitimate. We're half legitimate. We are a house show. When you have a show at the Laundry Room venue, which is still my house at the same time, it's private property. It is billed or presented as a private show you're having at my house. It's a private party, but you can invite whoever you want. I mean, you can host a public event at your private residence.
That's true. Okay.
And so we are fine in that regard. All of my neighbors are super cool. You know, we end a show at 11, everyone gone by 11:30. It's all libertarians out there, so they're cool. Like, all right, don't infringe upon me. That's fine. Do whatever you want to do. So that's the deal we struck. And, you know, we try to keep everything very peaceful. And just, I've learned with running events, as long as the music keeps running and you give everybody water, everyone stays safe pretty much most of the time. Playing, you know, hundreds of shows, anytime there's a big lull or a stoppage in music, that's when fights break out. That's when things go awry. Right. So knowing that side, every time I produce an event, I'm trying to make stage time switching with bands 5 to 10 minutes max. So people can get a cigarette, come back, get entertained. The number one killer of people is boredom.
Yeah.
People fight because they're bored.
Yeah.
So
you become a hood rat when you get bored.
When you get bored. Case in point. So I try to keep that in mind with any event I'm putting on. As long as people are entertained, everyone's there to have a good time. Just don't allow space for something else to happen.
Yeah.
So you're talking about legally, we've never had a fight. We've never had
cops or anything.
Cops. No noise complaints. Right, keep knocking. We've never had anything stolen. And that's the thing I'm most proud of, like the Murfreesboro scene. Nothing stolen. I'm only one guy who can watch so much at a time. Right. That doesn't happen.
I bet some saying people probably think you have like a staff and like all that.
Honest, I really think so, because when I've been in there, like I was like, oh, I know people live here, but like I did assume that you had multiple people running everything.
It started that way, but the last 2, maybe even the 3 years, it's been pretty much just me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So I'm running the Instagram. You're emailing me. I'm on the emails, Instagram. Sorry if I don't get to you quickly.
Yeah. So
I work day jobs.
You're running a business, man.
Yeah, exactly.
Running a business.
And I'm learning how, you know, I learned all this stuff at grad school, how to do audio. I knew nothing about business. So now I've been learning that side of things. Right. But now that's led me, I now can take all my gear out. I'll do your wedding. I've been DJing as of late as now. I did a prom this year, last year, a couple weddings, all that. And just having a good time because I still understand.
You'd be such a good DJ. I can just tell.
Oh, yeah.
You'd really get the party going.
Let me know. I think I'm going to go by DJ C Nice.
C nice.
You know, because I'm just riding the tailcoats of D Nice.
D nice.
You know DJ D Nice? He's like the biggest DJ on Instagram and all that. Oh, okay. Look, I was trying to figure out
original.
a good DJ name.
Yeah.
Can you all leave in the comments? What's a good DJ name?
Honestly, Mr. Hannah. I don't know. I have no idea.
My dad.
Yes,
Dad is a good
Hannah.
DJ
Literally.
name. Okay.
DJ 4chan.
DJ 4chan.
CHAN. See Hannah.
DJ Laundry.
And 4chan is like the scariest place on the internet.
That's right.
Yeah.
Not quite the vibes I were going for, but I'm glad he made the initial connection.
Okay,
So I was wondering.
You want to know a good DJ name? Shout out to DJ Whiteclaw in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. I went to high school with him. His name was Christian as well, Christian Jones. And he was, I think, born with just 2 fingers on his left hand. And he's white. So he's literally DJ Whiteclaw because, like, it's shaped like a claw.
That's hilarious.
I love
So
just playing into it.
And
It's awesome.
he was a theater kid as well, a very talented one. So
All right. Well, I'll check out my body dysmorphic.
Something with the hands being
yeah,
messed up.
DJ Cryptic or something. Crypt
is
Keeper.
great.
I don't know.
I'll spell it CHRY.
Yeah. I'm sure you can come up with something.
Something like that. Anyways, so yes, so the venue is doing fine legally because it is still private events, and but now I'm doing corporate events, taking my gear out. I can do those events, speeches, corporate events, whatever. Everything needs sound, and so you'll meet all sorts of people. I just worked a furry DJ night this past weekend in Murfreesboro.
In Murfreesboro?
In Murfreesboro. Yes.
Oh, no. You need to go up to Pittsburgh. That's where they have the biggest furry convention.
I'm good.
Yeah,
I mean, I love the people I just worked with. They're all great people. I don't need to travel for
It's just
it.
a fox
If they
in a
want-
costume paying
That's
you. Like,
wild.
Yeah. It was a kangaroo, actually. I had to
a
reach in the
kangaroo,
pouch
yeah.
and pull it out.
Yes, I appreciate your help tonight, man. It's
Yeah.
just like a kangaroo.
No,
Just
those
paying-
people
Oh
were
my
great.
goodness.
I had
Yeah.
a really great time with
Oh,
the furry
yeah, dude.
people, good DJs,
and-
all that.
A lot of them make really good money.
Well, I'm
Because
just,
a lot of them are like engineers, lawyers, stuff like that.
it was 500 people that showed out in Murfreesboro.
Murfreesboro?
That's the whole
August
population.
8th is the next one. Come out. It's going to be at the Monte Carlo 2.
Dude.
I'll provide the DJ equipment.
David,
Yeah.
I'm going to send you out on a post-show interview.
Oh,
that
boy.
one.
Oh, boy. Send me out.
Yep.
Anyway, so yeah. So that's
wild.
that's where it's taken me. So
I just have so, like, I seriously need you to write a book with just all these stories, or start getting seriously into stand-up, because I feel like you do have so many stories that you could tell. But I guess to stay on the topic for once for us, this is crazy. Okay, so for anyone who, other than just keep the music going, don't let people get bored, is there any other advice you have for anyone who's looking to kind of start their own venue?
yes. So if you start your own venue, invest in the gear.
Yes.
Just take the plunge. People coming to now, everyone has to start somewhere.
Yeah.
I started somewhere. Our first PA system was a dynamo mixer from like the 80s because it had amplifiers inside of it that could actually power our passive speakers.
Gotcha.
And we ran a mixer outside of that, feeding that. Everyone starts from somewhere. But the principle we started out with whatever we made, we reinvest back into the venue. That's the only way we could support the scene. It's by having some shows, having some money. You know, I had some people accuse me of being peak late stage capitalism because we were charging for a house show.
What?
But as you know, we're not a typical house venue, right?
No,
We're
but
really
I've
staged.
also been to like normal house shows and had to pay money.
I don't know. It was tweeted.
Who is beefing with Christian Hannah, owner of the laundry room, on Twitter?
Peak late stage capitalism just because we're asking money for a service. But beyond that, just reinvest everything right back into it, because you will come to a certain threshold where you have enough gear to really do a professional job.
Yeah.
And then that wheel starts turning so you can do more shows, better shows, your reputation builds. And then that actually is what evolved me from doing not just house venue shows, but now corporate events and weddings and a PA system big enough to DJ and just open up a lot of avenues. But with a venue, And I see this as a problem in like a lot of mid-tier bars in Nashville as well. They just don't invest enough to make it sound good.
Mm-hmm.
It's Music City, so every hotel has to have a songwriter stage in their lobby, but they buy the cheapest gear, the cheapest mixer, and then they don't hire somebody who knows what they're doing because they don't want to pay somebody who's taking the time to learn that knowledge.
Yeah.
Right.
So, know your gear, reinvest in it, and I was very lucky and I just so happened to move into a house that had a 450 square foot room that was converted from a garage. Mm-hmm. And so it just kind of had the infrastructure set there. Right. Mm-hmm. And I had a full acre around my house, so I didn't disturb anybody. And I can park 60 cars on my lot at the same time. So if you're fortunate enough to have all of that going in your favor, great. You know, I have to count my blessings when giving advice as well.
Yeah.
But I would say just keep reinvesting in your business until, you know, don't spend that money on something else.
Right.
Make that dream happen and keep supporting the scene. And like I do shows, I try to every 6 weeks do one show where I don't take any payment. I split it with all the artists evenly. And that will also, that's your advertising right there. That's your marketing.
Word of mouth.
Just word of mouth, doing more shows. And like 90% of my business has been word of mouth and just building a reputation over time.
Do you go to a lot of other shows?
I try to. I try to meet people, and then, you know, it really is about meeting people.
Yes.
Putting yourself out there. So. Yeah.
Very grassroots approach.
Would you ever want to expand it into like a larger venue?
My vision for the next 2 years is to find somebody who wants to open up a bar and grill / venue. Mm-hmm. And I would handle all the entertainment side of things, and they would handle the bar and food side.
Gotcha.
I'm really not interested in learning how liquor and food, managing all that.
Yeah.
But I consider myself pretty professional at running shows, booking talent, and making that side of things happen.
Yeah.
And all of my gear. Yeah, hit me up. Yeah, if you're opening up a venue, let me know. I have everything you need for a venue that's like 200 people. Like my PA is big enough for, you know, we can handle all that. So that's kind of what I'm hoping to do in the next couple of years with that side of things.
Yeah. So can you, well, actually I want to ask first, what advice would you give to artists about booking a venue, booking gigs or anything like that? Because we've talked about that on our show before. We have an episode about booking gigs, but you probably have a lot more professional advice as far as that goes.
Absolutely. As being someone who has managed bands and now managing a venue, presentation is key to trying to book yourself. Mm-hmm. So I was actually giving this band advice recently. I have a lot of first timers at my venue.
Yes.
Right? And that's totally cool. Usually your first show is at a house venue. Mm-hmm. And my goal is to give you the best possible environment for that show. So I'm Christian Hanna with the Laundry Room venue down in Murfreesboro, Tennessee. I also work at Rudy's Jazz Room 3 days a week. Uh-huh. You can catch me there Sunday, Monday, and Wednesdays. And then the Laundry Room venue is also turned into TLR Productions, where we go out and provide, you know, production for live events, for bands, music videos, corporate events, whatever you might need. Reach out. Happy to help.
Yes.
And I play bass too in a few bands.
Yeah, a few bands.
I play with Neighborhood Folklore, Upright, and I've been playing with Natalie Madigan this past year as well.
Okay.
Do you know Natalie by chance? Great music.
Okay.
Yes, definitely check out Natalie. Yeah. She is also super cool. She'd be a great interview for your podcast as well.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, I love Neighborhood Folklore stuff. I was at y'all's album release show on Halloween. That was a lot of fun. I was matching with Lance from The Matrix. Well, I was matching with the member Lance, and I'm about to expose myself. I've seen The Matrix multiple times, but the main character's name is Neo, right?
Correct.
Okay.
The one.
We were both dressed as Neo. And we got some cool videos from it, and so he was pretty cool.
Nice. Appreciate you being out at that show.
Oh yeah, it was so much fun. And I actually remember seeing you guys at the Laundry Room. Like, I don't know, time just blends in, so I don't remember
February of last year.
It was only February of last year.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was February of that year, and then we had our album release Halloween.
Are you
8 months later in October.
That's the only time you
sure.
performed at the laundry
That's
room?
the only time.
I sincerely thought that was like 3 or 4 years ago.
Nope.
What?
That was all last year.
Or like at least 2.
Time warp.
What?
Mm-hmm.
Oh my goodness, that's so weird. Because I
Yes,
literally
you died,
remember
bro.
seeing you guys, and that seems like forever ago.
Because that was our EP release of the
Yes.
first 4 songs of that album, and then we did the other 4
Yes.
in October.
Right.
That same
All right,
year.
well,
There you
time
go.
is not real.
Time ain't real.
Okay, so when we were here, we were canceling CKY. Do not listen to them or promote them. And and I said that music, at the end of the day, we're all here to have fun. And then you had a point about that.
Yes.
What was your point?
Well, we had the points of just being cool at shows.
Yes.
Be a nice sound guy. Don't be ornery. And you're working with the band, so the band will either have a great vibe at the beginning of their show, or you can hinder their vibe and they'll be lower, and then it will thus hurt the rest of the show. So oftentimes your demeanor is maybe more important than your skills at that point. So work with people. But with that being said, the last piece of advice I want to give to just anyone getting into live audio engineering, excuse me, you're going to have bad days. You're going to have days where feedback happens and you don't know why, and something's going to go awry, and it's just going to be bad.
Bars.
Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how good you are. Bad days are going to happen. The thing that's going to keep you going is, can you roll with the punches? Can you handle
Adapting.
that?
Yeah.
Can you go to sleep that night? Because you're the only person who's going to remember that big feedback that happened in the middle of the show.
Yes.
Everyone else got on with their lives. You're going to be there because I've done it 100 times.
I've seen it.
Sleep. He has.
Hey.
That exact question. Where's this coming from?
Where is this
I don't
coming
know.
from? I don't know. I gotta have it. And so you'll be beating yourself up all night, and you think, I just gotta quit because I'm terrible. You're not terrible. You just gotta keep practicing and keep moving forward.
Yes.
And remember, you're still gonna have a bad day. Every room's different. Every band's different. You're working with a lot of different people. Just, do you have a thick enough skin, and are you kind to yourself enough to forgive yourself for those times?
That's a good point.
And just
And
keep going.
sometimes it's your first day with a 25-year-old washed out band
boy.
that is awful and mean to you. And I'm so sorry, Rodney or Ron or whatever your name was from the Cobra at Nashville. I hope that you kept your job and are doing well.
Yeah.
Also, I would say that
Good.
relates to musicians as well. Like, you're going to have bad performances. You're going to have a bad crowd. That relates
I've seen it.
Oh,
No, I'm playing.
whoa.
Maybe it was the sound guy.
Anyways.
That did my sound. I don't know. I think that was what it was.
So this is what we don't do in shows, is have beef between the sound guy and the musician. But yeah, I mean,
that's what happened. I just looked back and he just went. I don't know.
but I honestly, it goes for
Classic.
life in general. You're
Yeah.
gonna have bad days at your job. Doesn't mean you're bad at your job, or
Yes.
bad days as a musician, bad days as a stand-up comedian. You're probably gonna have a lot of those if you're.
But you can control if you're being polite and being respectful to people.
Yes.
That you can control, and that's what you'll be remembered for way beyond your
100%.
skills at that
100%.
event. So
Well, Christian, it's come time to show off your show and yell. So instead of show and tell, it's show and yell, and you don't have to like scream your head off, but you can just be like, phone, and then it'll be good.
okay, well,
I'm scared.
Today-
'cause he wouldn't show us what it was.
I didn't want to show you because we're gonna give my mythical morning a run for the money, because today I brought CMOS.
Oh my goodness! I think I've heard of this.
Have you all? What do you know of CMOS?
I think I've heard about it on TikTok, like it for your skin.
Skin for everything. So CMOS is what it sounds like. It's moss from the sea. It's a plant, and it has 92 out of your 102 essential vitamins and minerals that you need. So it's a superfood. Bladderwrack has the other 10 vitamins and minerals you need. I almost brought that, but that's what I'm doing. So I've been on a serious health kick lately, and as entertainers and sound people. And, if you're working for yourself, you got to stay healthy. Your health care starts with what you eat, right? And so today, if you all have never tried sea moss before, we're going to do my mythical morning style. And
let's go.
everyone is going to take a taste.
I'm actually excited because I did want to try it because I saw on TikTok, like, someone was like, no, I like scrape my bowl clean. When did you hear about this? Did you hear about this through TikTok?
So I actually heard about, I guess Instagram.
Okay.
And I was just doing different health researching, but I made a friend in Nashville, Ron D, the dancer, and he mentioned that he goes to New York. He works with all these different communities, and he personally sources this sea moss from East Africa. So he gets it shipped over, dried, and then he blends it and he makes the gel itself. So all this is sea moss and water, and then you puree it into this gel. So it's fresh. It's some of the best source you can have
because the one I saw was on TikTok Shop, and that's where I was like, I don't know if I trust this.
Don't trust that stuff. They cut it with vitamin E oil and like other fillers. This is just the raw sea moss.
Okay.
Now you can put it in smoothies.
Okay.
You can put it in your baked goods even if you want to. But the best way, I'm on a big detox kick right now. So no dairy, no meat, no alcohol, no coffee.
Oh, shoot.
Okay. I'm taking 18 teaspoons of this a day throughout the day.
Wow.
And I'm taking herbal supplements that flush my body out. And it's amazing how much your body retains. And then I'm adding the bladderwrack and the boba fruit as well. But
18 teaspoons.
18. So one of the big challenges with the sea moss is just getting over the fact of the taste and texture. So
I'm actually scared now because I was excited, but now I'm scared because you said that.
Some people, I'm fine with it. I never had it. It's like applesauce to me.
Okay,
but it's
that's
like
what it looks
gel.
like.
So without further ado,
who's going first?
Patrick or David?
Oh,
I'll go first. I'll go first.
Oh boy. Hold on.
Okay.
I'll play the intense music while you do it.
It's going. Okay, do I get a full spoon?
Just get a full spoon.
All right.
Zoom in. Oh, it's gel, baby.
Oh. It tastes like eating soap.
Eating soap. But it is like soap for your insides. It will clean out your system. All that vitamins.
Wow.
Okay, now I should have been first.
This is the
it's not like
right
it's
here.
not like I'm gonna vomit or anything. It's just like weird. No, you go ahead and eat it. Before I say anything else. Get a good spoonful.
Don't have to go crazy with it.
He's like, don't waste it.
Don't want you to spew it all over your equipment.
Just do it. You just gotta go for it.
You just gotta go fast.
Okay. You're good.
It's dripping.
You got it.
Delicious East Africans. He was in. I think it's still small.
Okay. That's slightly dramatic.
Sorry.
It's like a candle I've smelled.
No, you know what it actually kind of reminds me of? Like, if you were to... Okay,
Refreshing at the end.
like a like dummy that they use for hospitals for like CPR, it feels like if you were to like carve out their flesh and eat it. But like a little more soft.
How was that a frame of reference, dude?
on earth?
It just gives me
Bro.
those
I
same
love how you're like,
vibes.
that was dramatic a few minutes ago at me. And
Or
you
like
just,
those like squish or like a squishy toy of some sort. Like
Yes.
like,
yeah.
No, it literally tastes
Like what it would taste and feel like.
It tastes like lavender smells. I don't know. It's something like
It's just a very like
floral.
earthy.
It's like floral.
It's very
and
earthy. Yeah. I mean, which makes sense.
It is a plant, so yeah.
Man, so you do 18 teaspoons.
A day. 6 in my smoothie, and then I do 12 just spoonfuls like that.
And it's better to do it just the plain spoonful.
Well, it's the most direct way of getting into your system.
Oh, okay. So why don't you do more in like...
More smoothies?
Yeah, I don't know.
Because I just want to knock it out.
I got you.
You know?
It's like protein almost.
If like, I mean, my smoothies
Man.
are already, 16 ounces.
Oh,
so I'd
okay.
be drinking, 48 ounces of smoothie just to
That is a bit much.
knock that down.
Okay, so... That's
Okay,
wild.
So soap and fake cadavers, what you said. You said
Candles and lavender.
candles and lavender. Okay.
Like
Yeah.
floral. Like it's like it tastes like a visitation. Like
Oh.
when you walk into like a visitation for
So death again?
not
Okay.
death,
Oh,
just like flowers that are around death.
There we go.
You know.
Yeah, it's just very earthy. I mean,
Not a wedding. Wedding flowers are
No,
just
no, no,
not
no.
in the picture. it has to
Honestly,
be
no.
visitation
To
flowers.
me-
Like when you're walking by the No.
to me, the texture is the worst part. Like, because I'm a big texture person.
Okay.
And so, like, the taste isn't great, but, like, the texture was definitely, like, oh. And it, like, leaves a like a slimy film in your
Yeah,
mouth.
it's still there. It's still there.
Yeah.
But it's
Okay, so you feel better, though? How long have you been doing this?
I've been doing this for about 4 months now. Well, not the 18th. So I would usually just do 2 teaspoons a day or something like
Okay.
that. I think that gets your essential vitamins. But now I'm on this big detox kit.
Okay. I could handle 2
Yeah.
2 teaspoons.
Yeah, what you just had.
Okay, I could handle that.
That's a tablespoon.
Yeah.
Or
Isn't a
table-
teaspoon like a smaller one?
No, tablespoons are bigger than that, what I just gave you. I mean,
Oh,
you did
really?
a heaping scoop, so you might have had a tablespoon
think
on
I did.
yours.
I think I
Yeah.
had a
Okay.
couple.
Okay, that makes sense. I could do that easy.
Yeah.
That makes I'm like, man, you're doing 18 of those, but
It
A
does
day,
taste
but I have.
healthy,
I mean,
though.
the first time around, I was doing like 10 a day, and then my guy wanted me to up it. So I'm just following the regimen. I'm feeling pretty good.
How does it help with like your sleep and stuff too?
It does. It has a lot of magnesium in it, which
I do
helps with
need
your
that.
sleep.
My sleep is so bad.
One of the best natural sources of magnesium is in this. Zinc, all of it. Yeah.
I'm very easily persuaded, so you've low-key sold me.
This was an infomercial. This was not this was not showing you. This was
My
an
ploy, yes.
Yeah, literally.
I actually don't sell it, but maybe I'll become the Murfreesboro affiliate.
The dealer,
Like
the
Billy
CMOS
Mays over here.
dealer.
Exactly.
Oh my goodness.
But I fully endorse this stuff. It makes my stomach feel so good and clean, and I know I'm getting the essential nutrition that I need. So I'm just trying to spread the word.
So what do you eat like outside of that?
So
Like, do you watch what you eat?
yeah, so I've been vegetarian for like almost 3 years now.
Oh wow. Okay.
Right before that, I was carnivore for like 4 months. I was looking shredded on carnivore, but wasn't feeling superb.
Yeah.
But vegetarian's treating me well, and cutting out dairy has been helping me with my asthma. I have asthma,
Okay,
and
yeah.
allergies. So cutting dairy out, it's been great for that.
Yeah, I definitely eat way too much dairy.
And just like the more, and also like this water I brought in this mason jar. Water is very
Oh
important.
my gosh.
So-
Man about to get going on water.
On water, baby.
He loves water.
So this is sunshine. You heard of moonshine before, right? So I buy distilled water. I think distilled water is the healthiest because just cleansing goes right through your system. But I take distilled water. I pour it in my water distillation machine, so it's twice distilled.
Wow.
So no microplastics or anything in that. Then I pour the water into a glass jar and I throw it in my backyard and let the sunshine hit it for a few hours. That way, I'm drinking photons, electrons. Because if you think about a plant grows with a little bit of dirt, water, and the sun's electricity.
Hold on.
Except
Hold up. Let me back up. You throw a mason jar of water just like that.
Yeah.
Like a grenade.
Yeah.
Into your backyard.
Yeah.
Wow. For
Yeah.
like just the sunlight to
I feel like
nourish the water.
you're living like a first century life of like it's gonna take me 18 hours to boil my water to properly drink it.
No, just 5.
Just 5.
Yeah. The mega home
Have
water
you
distillery.
ever been like, man, I'm just really thirsty, I need some water, I'm just gonna grab some and not worry about the whole sun process?
If I don't have distilled water, I ain't drinking it. If you see me at a
I
restaurant,
do remember you telling me that.
I'm drinking juice if I'm at a restaurant, or maybe even like a ginger beer or soda, because that's gone through some like better filtration. but
Oh my
almost
goodness.
never a soda.
Yeah.
Juices all day.
Christian Hanna, you are one of the most interesting people I've ever met in my entire life.
Influential.
Start with the water, man. Start with the water.
Starts with the water.
Okay, well, I live in an apartment on like a balcony, 3rd floor. So.
It's the water distillation machine. It's just like a coffee pot. It's about the same size.
But you do both.
Excuse me.
You do. Well, I meant the sun thing.
Oh
is
yeah,
what I
yeah.
meant.
Well, you got a balcony. Just set it on the balcony.
It doesn't
Set it
get
by
a
the
ton of
window.
sun, but maybe I'll consider it. I don't
There's
know.
like an open
This is
field,
very
but just
intriguing.
literally
I told you I'm
throw it.
very easily persuaded, and then I'll probably like forget about it.
You might have to
He's gonna walk
hide.
in with 3 of those tomorrow.
That's the other thing. I drink so much, just constantly. Like at restaurants, they'll bring me like 2 of my drink because I just am
Much
going
water.
through it. Yeah, same with water and stuff. There are times where like I do really well drinking water, and then times where I don't. So, but also my water is like through like a Brita filter, so it's probably not anything.
That's
crazy.
a good start.
Yeah.
That's a good start. The charcoal does a lot to filter the water, the chlorine and
Yeah.
fluoride and all that out.
Dude, we had a filter at our old place. We just moved to this new one that doesn't have the sink thing for the filter. So now we're tasting all of Brentwood.
Ew.
Like, it is-
Ew.
And you will taste it. And when you go from clean water and then
You
you
don't
go
wanna go
back,
back.
you don't want to
Forever.
go back.
Yeah. That's like we had trainers here at my new restaurant that I'm at now. They're from like Texas. The first thing they said, I was like, "How do you like Tennessee?" I was like, "Y'all's water's trash here."
That's fair.
And I'm like,
That's fair. So, do you just have like jars and jars of water in your fridge right now that have been put in the sun?
They're in my backyard. You don't want to let moonlight hit your water. 'Cause that's a different kind of light.
Well,
Then it
so
turns
right
into
now
coconut water.
they're not in your yard, right?
They're on my porch. I moved them off the ground
Okay.
into my porch. Yeah.
So do you just? Oh well, I guess I have heard like room temperature water is better for you, so you don't really drink cold water. I assume.
Oh, ice water? No, never. Because everything has to heat up to your body temperature for you to start digesting it in the first place.
yeah.
So anytime you eat anything colder than your body temperature, it's just sitting there till it heats up.
I'll tell this story afterward, but I went into AFib from drinking cold water.
Rest my case.
Exhibit A.
Exhibit A.
Oh my goodness. Okay, do we want to do the game or do we just want to end it? We've been going for 2.5 hours.
It's up to you.
We'll do a game real quick. Okay, so
Okay.
usually the game, I had a list of artists for neighborhood folklore, but I'll just come up with different ones. We typically just say a bunch of different artists and say whether, I guess, more as a musician rather than a venue. Also, who's the biggest person you've had at your venue? Have you had anyone like really big?
It's mostly local people.
Okay.
I'm trying to think. I had Saving Abel rehearse at my house for
Okay.
like a week at a time. And so they probably have the most like streams and everything like that.
Yeah.
Super cool guys. Jared Weeks is awesome.
Yeah.
Good people. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so I just put up famous singers, and I'm just going to name one and say whether you would agree to collab with them or not, or in your case, maybe play for their band.
Okay.
And pretend that you're like kind of on the same level as them. Okay, so I just mean.
I got you.
Anyway, Harry Styles.
Oh, heck yeah.
Yeah, period. Adele.
Well, pre-Ozempic Adele.
Oh my goodness. Let's not hate on Adele. I love Adele.
I do
You
too.
know what? Maybe she's doing sea moss and sun water.
No, she ain't.
Drake.
Drake, after these past 2 weeks, I think pre-Ozempic Drake as well.
Yeah.
As well. Yeah. Maybe not with Millie Bobby Brown at the rehearsals.
Right.
Stevie Wonder.
Classic, of course. I learned so much from Stevie. I'm still studying Stevie.
Dua Lipa.
So beautiful. I would just hang out in the room. I would just carry her luggage.
I wanna dance with her and do that like.
Uh-huh.
You know that?
Uh-huh.
Elton John.
Elton John. Interesting guy. You know, do you know his lyricist that Barney, or what's his name?
Is he the one in the movie?
I forgot they actually mentioned him. But dude, Elton John has some of the worst lyrics of all time, which shows he doesn't write the lyrics. He just gets the lyrics from, I want to say it's Barney something.
Why can't I see it? Oh, songwriting partner Bernard John Taupin.
Yes, Taupin, Bernard Taupin, or he goes by Bernie sometimes. Right. Bernie Taupin. That guy is such a joker. If you analyze the songs, you realize Elton John is one of the greatest musicians of all time because he takes these heaping piles of terrible lyrics and turns them into classic anthems.
Classic anthems, yep.
If I was a sculptor, but then again, no.
Wait.
That's trash, dude. That is so trash. Goodbye Yellow Brick Road. Elton John. Yeah, but Elton John is a gaudy gay man who loves the exquisite grandeurs of life. Why would you say, like, goodbye to the mansions, goodbye, I'm going into the simple life? That's not Elton John at all.
That's true. Right. That's true.
So who is Taupin writing this music for?
I would just want to see all the outfits and everything. Like, I want a closet tour.
Yes.
Of everything.
So I say Elton John. Yeah, I would learn a lot of music from him. I would. Yeah, totally. Yeah. But I don't want to hang out with Taupin.
I also want to hear anything and everything about Romeo and Juliet because that movie is so good.
Oh yeah,
that movie is so good. If you have not gone back and I had not watched it since it came out. I rewatched it a couple years ago. It's so funny.
Okay.
Also, a Dolly Parton gnome. Come on. Dolly Parton.
Oh, yeah. Big time. Her imagination's wild.
Yes. Celine Dion.
No. Oh, no. Have you seen that creepy baby commercial she did? Yeah, dude. I'm pretty sure she's on adrenochrome.
She's on, oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Billie Eilish.
She has a lot of satanic, demon... imagery in her videos, and I think it's really bad for young girls, and I think she's creating a whole class of slutty teenagers. So no.
Did you see Tim Dillon's bit on that?
Not yet. I'll check that out.
I'll send it to you later.
Olivia Rodrigo.
She's starting to lean towards that Billie Eilish route.
You think I don't think I've seen any devilish imagery.
She actually
it's more like the tone of just a very
and that Oscar or Grammy performance, that vampire thing, she's bleeding on stage.
Yeah. It's vampire.
Why do girls love vampires so much? I'll kill you, suck your blood.
I mean,
make you love me forever.
There's a whole history behind what vampires.
Okay, so name me something more toxic masculinity than vampires.
Dude, doesn't matter what
That's
it is.
Fair.
Love,
That's fair. I mean,
murdered.
But
it's they watch their podcast. It's crazy.
Usher.
Usher, classic. But if I had to sacrifice, or if I had to work with him or somebody else on the list, I would lean towards somebody else. That'd be bottom tier.
Okay. And our last one that we ask everyone, just because of our personal relationship with her, Taylor Swift.
Taylor Swift? You're talking about the evil of all evils doing full-on witchcraft in stadiums?
But anyway, so thank you, Christian.
Woo! Left on a hot note. Hot takes.
No, this was actually a lot of fun. And we've been going for over 2.5 hours. So, not actually, but some.
But actually, yeah.
But yeah, I'm looking forward to neighborhood folklore interview and everything. And thank you for introducing us to CMOS and your many thousands of lives. So
plug your stuff.
Yes.
All right. Well, thank you all very much for having me, Patrick, David. Thank you. You all are great people. I enjoy the podcast and the Instagram posts. Always keep me up to date. It's great. You can find me at the Laundry Room Venue on Instagram. You can find us at tlrproductions.com for all of those needs. You can also find my band Neighborhood Folklore on Instagram. Mm-hmm. Check out Natalie Madigan. I'm playing live shows with her. You can find me my personal Instagram, which I have greatly reduced. It's just one post right now.
Whoa.
I'm trying to do a full reset. It's Muddy Jardins. That was my rap name back in the day.
Okay.
And I would really like to get back into rapping and producing beats. So that's MUDDYJARDENS. Because when I was working on the farm, I was wearing Jordans and working in the garden. Got my J's muddy. Everyone wants to keep them clean. Muddy Jordans.
Very nice. All right,
That's
go follow him and go follow at successfully_unsigned. Go to our website, SU-podcast. You can donate to us there if you want. Really should. No. And Unsigned Podcast on TikTok and everything else. Thank you guys. See you next time.
See ya.